money.
No, but IMF is all from the US. Really?
Yeah, but
It's one of the
I don't
biggest
know.
export
I don't know if
markets.
Scdawah audience will be interested in Pakistani politics. We're discussing Pakistani politics.
Well, actually,
You-
I brought it back to the Ummah, leaders of the Ummah.
Yeah.
I brought it back to the leaders of the Ummah. So, obviously, there's quite a few young people here, right?
Okay.
Over the last.
Why don't we talk in
10 decades.
Why don't we talk in general terms? What do the Muslims need
Yeah.
in the leaders? No. Unity. You will never have unity. Full stop. You will not have unity. And I'm not being pessimistic about unity here. I'm telling you what the Prophet told us. The Prophet ﷺ said, "You will not unite." This is one of the prayers of the Prophet Allah did not accept. The Prophet made this dua that unite my ummah. And other du'as were accepted, but this was not, because this is a test. It is a test upon us to unite. But we will not unite because, shaitan is also there. He has a job to do, right? So unity is not going to be achieved. Okay. Now, what we can do is produce leaders who can potentially make a difference. Okay. The leaders I'm talking about are educated, sincere, dedicated, strong, headstrong, most importantly, and don't compromise. Don't compromise. I'm going to run out of space. Okay.
Have we come close to anyone like that?
Recently,
I think so.
look, a leader, a Muslim leader,
I don't think he's perfect.
has to be someone who takes pride in his identity,
he does.
in his civilization.
He does.
Yes, he does. I believe he does. Okay, but the discussion here is not about Imran Khan. The discussion is about Muslims from Morocco to Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Why are we in a crisis? Is the question. No. Because of us. Leaders, a few individuals. What are the Muslim masses doing is the question. Okay, why are we not able to produce leaders? Okay, if you look at the Afro-Americans and the struggle, okay, in the US history, they were brought in as slaves, they were brutalized, and the US Constitution stated clearly that all men are born equal. And then this question was raised in the mid-19th century, in the 1860s, that are the Negroes. Okay, that's the term they used. I'm using the term historically, right? Are the Negroes or the black Africans or the Afro-Americans, let's say, right? Are they equal to the white man? And then one of the Supreme Court judges in the 1850s, if I'm not mistaken, 1854 it was, he basically issued a judgment that this clause of the Constitution does not apply to the Afro-Americans. They are not equal to, and this was one of the worst judgments in the US history. Okay, so the blacks, they went through a lot of struggle to get where they are today, and it's still not resolved. The matter is still not resolved. There's still racism, there is still discrimination, there is still brutality against them, and all that. Likewise, the Muslims can't just give up and start blaming the leaders. The Afro-Americans didn't blame the leaders. Rather, they worked with the leaders to emancipate themselves from the slavery, from the discrimination, from the racism they were facing. Similarly, we the Muslims, we need to start working with our leaders, those who are willing to work with us. Otherwise, create the leaders. And how do you create the leaders? First of all, the first step is to learn about yourself. Who are you? Who are we? As humans, as Muslims, what do we stand for? We need to understand our history, our civilization. What is it that we want? What are we offering to the world? Is it something better? Or is it something we need to put behind? Okay? For example, currently what's happening in the Muslim lands, none of the Muslim lands have Islam as the guiding force. They are following different ideologies, different systems. Your leaders are all messed up, confused people. Some of them are semi-socialist, others are semi-communist, some are semi-capitalist. They're not fully anything. You know, we have a saying in the Urdu language, "Kavva chala, hans ki chaal apni bhi bhul gaya." You know, "Dhobi ka kutta na ghar ka na ghat ka." You must have heard these. Yeah, that you're trying to walk someone's walk, but you are neither that nor what you were supposed to be in the first place. You are lost, you're confused. So what's happening right now is we have lost our history, we have lost any knowledge, any appreciation of our civilization, our philosophers, our thinkers, our great luminaries, and the result is that we are now stuck with these people who themselves are confused. And these people, we are expecting wonders from them. Nawaz Sharif, Zardari, Imran Khan. I'm not putting Imran Khan in the same category. He's not from the same category. Because Imran Khan, the different thing about him is that he talks about the Muslim civilization. He talks about the greater achievements of the Muslim civilization. And he attaches himself with that civilization. He is inclined towards that civilization. That's what I like about him. Okay.
We've gone back to what the reason was for creating Pakistan.
Yes,
Exactly, yeah.
yes, it was Islam.
Islamic
It was
Republic.
Islam, full stop. The reason Pakistan as a country was created, but from the very beginning, a huge injustice was done to the sacrifices of over 1 million people. Over 1 million people died bringing this country into being.
Not properly recognised, partition.
Yeah, partition
What do you
and
mean exactly injustice?
Punjab, the Punjab. You know,
What
the
injustice? Yeah,
Over a
I know
million were
people
killed.
gave their lives for it, but
the
what
injustice was when the country was taken in the name of Islam.
Yeah.
People migrated from India to Pakistan in massive numbers for Islam.
Yeah.
And then what happened? The ruling elite, still the same corrupt, very westernized way. I'm not talking about Jinnah. I'm not talking about Liaquat Ali Khan. I'm talking about the establishment around them. Very westernized,
Even civil servants and
civil servants,
establishment.
all British trained,
Okay.
colonial remnants of colonialism, same mindset, very inspired by the British
Way of
colonial rule, okay, the British Raj. So that mental slavery that was left behind by the British rule survives to this day. If you look at your anchors, your intellectuals, your politicians on the Pakistani TV channels, when they're having a debate, what examples are they using to inspire people? America में होता है, बर्तानिया में होता है, बर्तानिया की parliament में ही हो रहा है, right? I mean, let me say this in English. When they have these debates, they're saying Americans are doing this, the British are doing this, as if the Americans and the British are models. They are not our models. Our models are people we look up to from our history.
But that's what Imran Khan was doing.
Exactly. He was-
And
I got to know so
at
many
least the
people in
rhetoric was
Muslim
there.
history because of him, because he was raising those.
At least the rhetoric was there.
yeah.
I like the rhetoric. I like the rhetoric. The rhetoric was beautiful. It's still very beautiful.
Yeah.
Medina ki Riyasat, the slogan is beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, he wants to revive the Islamic civilization. Beautiful. He even said in his speeches that our hero is Tipu Sultan,
Yes.
not Bahadur Shah Zafar. Okay, and I really cherish that because anyone who studies the history of Tipu Sultan, they know what he stood for. He was a very powerful leader,
What he's
a very
doing is-
sincere leader, a very Islamic leader.
What he's done is he's reminded everyone that concepts like the welfare state
Yeah.
aren't just British
No.
1940s kind of concepts. These are concepts that were started 1400 years ago.
Absolutely. Islamic government system was the first system that facilitated that welfare state
Yeah.
he talks about very often. The Romans did not bring a welfare state, the Greeks did not, the Egyptians did not, the Babylonians, any civilization before Islam and after Islam specifically did not bring a welfare state. Islam as a system brought that welfare state system, you know, where people are given the importance they deserve. So certain things were put in place for people to benefit from, like the state took responsibility for many things, the security, for example, even the medical needs, even what we call the child benefit, which is what people love in Britain. You know, mothers they receive child benefit, right? Housing, things like that. So the Islamic State, when I say the Islamic State, I mean the classical Islamic State, yeah, not the recent one, yeah. Because again, it's a slogan these guys used, and they abused it, right? They actually tarnished the word Islamic State now, unfortunately. So we need to really do a lot of work to explain to people what the term or the terminology Islamic State actually means. So Imran Khan has been talking about that, and I cherish that. So what we need is leaders who are inspired by the Muslim civilization. They have Islam in their hearts. They are Islamified completely, mentally speaking. They are not colonized mentally. They are not looking up to alien civilizations, alien systems, alien economic systems for that matter, to revive the Muslim civilization. The Muslim civilization is very unique and it still lives very much. I believe from Morocco to Bangladesh, we are still very much a one body, and things can still happen.
In some ways, the world's kind of systems are all mixed anyway.
Yeah.
They're mixed economies, they're welfare states, they're privatized, etc.
Yeah.
And Islam kind of has bits of all of that right from the start.
Islam has a lot better than
capitalism. It had a welfare state. It was very
Islam.
business-minded.
Yeah. Islam has a balanced system that does not necessarily fit into any system we have today. Okay, it's a unique system which works with a framework. Okay, you have to have the entire framework for the system to work. You can't take the arm and put it on a body that doesn't belong to the arm, and vice versa, right? You have to work with the body, the entire body. You want Islam, then it has to work as a system completely. You have to use the Islamic moral system. You have to use the Islamic economic system. You have to use the Islamic legal system. Okay, you have to use Islamic policies when you deal with other people, neighbors, other human beings, and then you see Islam flourish as a civilization. And when this was done historically, we became very powerful, very influential.
In places like Pakistan, which was created
for Islam.
Yeah. There isn't that. So, for example, the fact that they do have Sharia courts, the fact that they do have certain moral kind of culture, moral standards, etc. They have a mixed economy, but they're trying to bring in mortgages, for example.
There is a problem. Look,
interest-free.
the problem is the people of Pakistan, unfortunately, they will reject Islam.
It's very negative.
No. I'll tell you. Your weddings are completely Bollywood.
Yeah.
You have mujras going on your weddings. There are men tossing money on women, dancing naked. Wait. No, it's not the minority. You don't watch TikTok? You're not on TikTok?
I don't know what kind of stuff
neither am I.
You need to stay off that stuff.
Neither am I.
Scdawah.
I'm watching. But I can't close my eyes. I'm on Facebook. I do Facebook browsing, and then this stuff comes up. And you're thinking, what the hell is going on in this country? I'm not living in a bubble. I live in the society. I travel to.
I still think Pakistan's a conservative society.
It's a conservative society, partially. When it wants to be. Okay, you will see people come on the roads condemning all those people who insult the Prophet ﷺ. They will go and kill people, like they did this Sri Lankan engineer in Pakistan, right? They killed him for something he didn't even do, right? But when you talk to those people, you ask them to read one simple statement from Islam or even the Shahada, the Kalima, they can't read it.
But that's lack of education. I mean,
okay, that's legit.
This
is why
investment in young people in Pakistan.
That's the problem. You hit the nail on the head. Because there's no education, the people will reject Islam. Real Islam, when it's applied on people, when they are taught Islamic morals, when women are told to cover, when men are told to behave yourselves, stop drinking and stop doing mujras and stop, buying and selling women and things like that. Okay, and stop oppressing the poor. Stop doing corruption, stop taking bribery. You go to Pakistan, any Pakistani institution, and this is a self-assessment. I'm not being a cynic. Okay, I'm telling you the facts as they are, because I have family in Pakistan. I go there very often. I deal with these state departments. They are corrupt to the core. They are corrupt, absolutely corrupt. You want to get your own right, you have to pay for it.
Yeah, but that's what happens when you live in poverty.
No,
that is
you can't blame poverty. I've been to Africa.
Yeah.
Africa's, look.
Well, there's very corrupt places in Africa.
There are, absolutely. But I've been to some of the poorest countries in Africa. They are cleaner than Pakistan. So poverty is not an excuse for corruption and moral degradation. Okay, for example, one of the poorest countries in Africa is Malawi. One of the poorest countries in the world, Malawi. You go there, the roads are clean, they're crisp. Okay,
Okay,
the
that's a
institutions.
mindset. That's a mindset of the people. But in
So
Pakistan, you've got a lot of madrasas, right?
Yeah.
A lot of madrasas.
They're not doing it-
Majority of young people are going to madrasas in.
They're not.
in Pakistan.
No, the,
Huge numbers.
the
huge
majority
numbers.
of young people are going to.
Government schools.
No, not even that. The majority of young people who do educate themselves, actually, they're not the majority. They are a minority, right? The minority, the middle class and the upper class of Pakistan, the elite, only they go to colleges and universities.
But the majority of people have exposure to Islam, whether it's through madrasas or through mosques. Are you saying that there's moral degradation in a state where majority of people have access to the mosque and are constantly on TV channels seeing Islam, going to madrasas, etc.?
Assalamu alaikum, Janab. Ramazan Mubarak, Eid Mubarak in advance. Okay,
So
you see,
is that Islam not working then?
no. Islam is not being taught as it should be, even in the madaris. I believe even the madaris need to be reviewed. They need to be reassessed, and the curriculum doesn't need to change. I make it very clear. People might think that I'm against madaris. I'm not against madaris. I am for a reform of the madaris, a reform based upon Islam. Now people may think, what is he talking about? Madaris are already teaching Islam. They're not. Unfortunately, they're not. Because these madaris, they are creating people who are failing in the society. They cannot become administrators. If you get a madrasa degree from one of the biggest institutions in Pakistan, let's say, if you put one of these Maulanas to run a state department, he won't be able to do it. It cannot. It cannot
it's
come.
Too limited.
They're too limited to their limited theological curriculum. So previously, Islamic curriculum constituted theology, mathematics, medicine, philosophy, logic, even politics, history. So our scholars in the past, pre-19th century, during the Mughal period, talking of Pakistan and India, they were very astute people. They were very, very shrewd politically speaking. They were fully involved in politics. Okay, they were very influential. They held some very important government positions. They exercised influence. And they changed governments. They were so influential that they changed governments. Today, that's not the case because the madaris are producing the Maulvis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before I go,
Yeah.
obviously we've had a very negative outlook on what the kind of potential is to have a Muslim leader
And you
who's
want-
going to unite the ummah.
Yeah.
But if we gave you the keys to the Prime Minister's house,
I wouldn't take them.
in Islamabad,
I wouldn't take them.
what would you do first?
I wouldn't take them.
You just wouldn't take
I
it.
wouldn't take them.
Is that the attitude that all Muslims should have?
No. Because I wouldn't take it because the people are not ready. If I would come to power, I would try my best to speak the truth. I would call a spade a spade. I would try to get rid of corruption, and before I even start, I will be removed. So why take the keys when I can't even enter the door? When I can't even enter the house?
When will they be ready? And
Is
how?
the issue with the leaders or is it with the people themselves?
People.
So-
I don't blame the leaders.
Okay, what do you do?
Leaders come from people.
What do you do with
The reason
220
why
million
people are shouting slogans on the streets of Pakistan, Nawaz Sharif Zindabad.
Can't try to redo the
Curriculum.
madrasa.
Listen,
Yeah. He tried to
listen.
do
Have
that.
one
Listen.
curriculum.
But it
People
doesn't work.
people
don't want to
condemn Zardari.
Yeah.
Let's say, yeah. Okay,
Mr. 10%.
You Mr. 10, no, Mr. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's call him
Go
Mr.
then.
100%.
The man
Whatever.
who flirted with Sarah Palin, literally a couple of weeks after
That's
his wife was
the least.
assassinated.
That was the least. Imran Khan is not an angel in the. You know.
No,
Yeah.
but he's president.
Yeah.
And he's kind of saying, "Oh, you're gorgeous in real life."
Yeah, no problem. It's good to be charming. It's good to be courteous.
Well, that's
Yeah, you're
charming.
looking beautiful.
Very
no problem.
Islamic,
There's
yeah.
there's no problem with that. A compliment, which is
Have you seen
is
the
a fair-
video?
I've
You gotta
seen,
watch
I've
the
seen,
video.
I've seen, I've seen.
Okay.
So the point
Yeah,
I'm making
so
is,
Mr. Zardari.
you condemn Zardari for being corrupt. A lot of people do, right?
Yeah.
But you go to a rickshaw
Yeah.
in Pakistan, he's a Zardari. You go to the vegetable, the street vendor, he's a Zardari in his own right.
tribes
He's gonna
and
try to cheat you. You go to the tailor, He's going to try to cheat you. You go to anyone, okay? Unless and until we work on the morals of the people, the leaders will be the way they are.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to
get
start.
the leaders you
We need to
deserve.
start educating. We need to start educating our people about Islamic values, Islamic morals, how to be true Muslims, and how to be true to the word, right? How to be upright, how to avoid temptations of money, corruption, and bribes and things like that. Once we have that, you will see Islam will rise. Islam will rise as a
Okay.
power once again, because this is what gave rise to Islam in the first place, the
In
morals
UAE
and the principles.
UAE,
Yeah,
do they have corruption?
yeah.
To the same level as Pakistan?
No,
UAE's rich.
no.
Pakistan's
No,
got
they don't have the
corruption.
same
In my
level, no.
view, Pakistan's got corruption because of poverty. People need to find a way.
UAE does not have the same corruption as Pakistan, no.
But it does have corruption.
No, because the leaders of the UAE, as good or as bad as they may be, right?
What do you think of the moral standards there?
When it comes to corruption, financial corruption, they don't allow it. Their police will not take bribe from you.
Okay.
Okay, predominantly that's the case. They will not take bribe from you. The legal system is quite fair. The hospitals, the roads, the universities are functioning.
Would
Okay.
you like to be a leader there then? Are the people ready for you?
Still. Why do you want me to be? Why do you want me to be a
I want to
leader?
know what kind of people are ready.
It's my personal choice. I would rather read books
Okay.
and enjoy my books and my quiet life than.
No, I meant
yeah.
what I'm actually getting at is
Yeah.
where are the people ready to have the leader of the ummah? Because you're saying effectively the people aren't ready for a leader. So effectively, we have to live abroad.
I believe.
because we'll get better Islam
I believe in the Muslim
abroad.
world, monarchical system is better than these sham democracies. Okay, if you look at the monarchies in the Muslim world, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, Qatar,
Yeah.
Jordan, Morocco. Okay, wait. Look at them. Have you been to these countries? I've been to them.
Yeah.
Okay, they are relatively prosperous,
Yeah.
less
Oil
corrupt,
helps.
less corrupt. No,
Oil
no,
helps.
not Jordan, not Jordan, not Morocco. Morocco
Yeah.
doesn't have oil.
Tourism.
Tourism, yeah. In some cases,
So are you
even
into dynastic-
immoral tourism.
Are you into dynastic politics then?
Over the democracy, absolutely.
So you
Over.
prefer Bhutto Zardari?
No. These are products of democracy. Modi, Zardari, Trump, Boris Johnson, okay, and other despots around the world. These are products of democracy.
Okay.
And even the proponents of democracy, they acknowledged that it's a very bad system. Even Churchill is known to have said that it is the best out of the worst systems to rule,
But
to govern.
Islam.
He clearly didn't read Islam very carefully. He
But
didn't,
isn't there this concept of consensus of opinion?
yeah.
And the Prophet talking about how his ummah will never make a mistake when it comes to
Yeah.
picking